And, you alluded to that when you pointed to the fact that there has to be something outside the technological enterprise to stabilize it. You alluded to, for example, a more fundamental ethos of reciprocity when you said that one form of combating the proclivity for top-down force, for example, in this one-way information pipeline, is to make it two-way. Right, well, you're pointing there to something like, see, reciprocity is a form of repetitive self-sacrifice. Like if we're taking turns in a conversation, I have to sacrifice my turn to you and vice versa, right? And that makes for a balanced dynamic. And so anyways, one of the problems we're trying to solve with this ARC enterprise is to thoroughly evaluate the structure of that underlying narrative. And we could really use some engineers to help, because the large language models are going to be able to flesh out this domain property, because they do map meaning in a way that we haven't been able to manage technically before.
So I think the single biggest fight that has ever happened over technology, and there have been many of those fights over the course of the last, especially 500 years, the single biggest fight is going to be over what are the values of the AIs. To your points, like what will the AIs tell you when you ask them anything that involves values, social organization, politics, philosophy, religion? That fight, I think, is going to be a million times bigger and more intense and more important than the social media censorship fight. And I don't say that because the social media censorship fight has been extremely important, but AI is going to be much more important because AI is such a powerful technology that I think it's going to be the control layer for everything else. And so I think the way that you talk to your car and your house, and the way that you organize your ideas, the way you learn, the way your kids learn, the way the healthcare system works, the way the government works, how government policies are implemented, like AI will end up being the front end on all those things. And so the value system in the AIs is going to be, maybe the most important set of technological questions we've ever faced. As you know, out of the gate, this is going very poorly.
Yes.
So, right. And there's this question, and there's this question hanging over the field right now, which you could sort of summarize as why are the AIs woke? Why do the big lab AIs coming out of the major AI companies, why do they come out with the philosophy of a 21-year-old sociology undergrad at Oberlin College, with blue hair, who's like completely emotionally activated? Right, and you can see many examples of people have posted queries online that show that, or you can run your own experiments. And they basically have the fullest sort of version of this kind of fundamentalist, emotional, far progressive, absolutist wokeness coded into them. You said up front that the presumption, must be that they're just getting trained on, more recent bad data versus older, good data. There is some of that, but I will tell you that there is a bigger issue than that, which is these things are being specifically trained by their owners to be this way. Yeah.
Okay, so let's take that apart, because that's very, very important. Okay, so like I've played with Grok a lot and with ChatGPT. I've used these systems extensively, and they're very useful, although they lie all the time. Now, you can see this double effect that you described, which is that there is conscious manipulation of the learning process in an ideological direction, which is, I think, absolutely ethically unforgivable. Like it even violates the spirit of the learning that these systems are predicated on. It's like, we're going to train these systems to analyze the patterns of interconnections between the entire body of ideas in the corpus of human knowledge. And then we're going to take our shallow conscious understanding and paint an overlay on top of that. That is so intellectually arrogant that it's Luciferian in its presumption. It's appalling. But even Grok is pretty damn woke. And I know that it hasn't been messed with at that level of, painting over the rot, let's say. And so